Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Give all praise, honor, and glory. Call Halal Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Arachak, that's what the double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. The man who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, which can allow us the freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, it's an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the heathen, looking like the heathen, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. This is Brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland camp. Another fellow servant coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushua. I'm doing lessons out of a book called The Pentagon's Brain. I had stopped on page 411 and basically was going into drone wars. I brought out that scripture in Revelation because at the end of the day, when you go into the account of Isaac with Jacob and Esau, well, Salakia, I said Isaac. Well, Salakia, yeah, with Jacob and Esau. Basically, Esau was given a carnal blessing, the power of the sword, and that goes beyond just, a physical sword. The modern day sword is the gun, the rifle. You got ICBMs, which are swords. They're referred to as glittering swords. They're mentioned as swords in the scriptures, or arrows. But he also knows how this man is the son of perdition. So, basically, he brings destruction all in his wake. He can weaponize pretty much anything. He's weaponized sound. He's weaponized, hell, he weaponized the weather. He's weaponized the food. We're getting bombarded by this man's madness on all fronts. And Isaac was given Salakia, or Jacob was given a carnal blessing. Salakia. Salakia. It's so much. Satan is so busy right now, and I'm tired. But Jacob was given a spiritual blessing, and Esau was given a carnal blessing, and as the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we receive those spiritual, that spiritual blessing, as well as Esau and his descendants received that carnal blessing. That's why it tells you in the scriptures, I believe it's 2 Corinthians, about our weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the spirit of. Let me get that. Bear with me for a second. It says, I'm going to start up though. In 2 Corinthians 10, I'm going to start at verse 2. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh. Verse 3, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Verse 4, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down the strongholds. So we're battling this wickedness in high places through how Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua basically set it up for us to do. We're not to go out there carnally, and even though like right now this is the time where we're being persecuted and accused, that's how you know that we're in the truth. Because, and it's going to be a hell of a movie, because at the end of the day, you got groups that's, carnal, they taking this as if, like, we going to actually be able to go up against Esau's military with, come on, Jake ain't even came all the way back, Jake is so bugged out, Although, it's a beautiful thing to see, the men of our nations or lucky men of our nation coming back. I've actually got to fellowship with other camps. So, it's beautiful to see the northern kingdom mixed with the southern kingdom. That's a beautiful thing, contrary to whatever anybody else believes. And also in the book of Isaiah 54, it says he's created the smith who bloweth the coals. And at the end of the day, basically the Most High gifted this man on the left hand side with knowledge and wisdom of ICBMs and all forms of weaponry. So Salakia, because I don't mean to keep this going so long, but I'm gonna try and pick up where I left off. It says, I think I stopped at the biometric drones. Biometric drones have been used by the intelligence community since 1972, when the CIA built a prototype Dragonfly drone. It called Insectocopter. A miniature engine powered the drone's wings to move up and down. Insectocopter ran on a thimble full of gas. Continuing, it says, biohybrids tread on entirely new ground. DARPA's micro air vehicle programs are built on decades of aviation technology, aerospace engineering, computer science, and nanotechnology, which is the science of making things small. Then at the turn of the 21st century, a new field called nanobiology biotechnology came into being. Once relegated to the pages of science fiction, this burgeoning new discipline allows scientists to couple biological systems with machines. In 1999, DARPA awarded grants for biohybrid programs. The stated goal was to create cyborgs, part living creatures, part machines. DARPA's biohybrid program remains shrouded in mystery. Biohybrid military applications are largely classified, but a few prototype programs have been unveiled. As nanobiotechnology advanced in the early years of the 21st century, tiny machines could realistically be wired into animals' brains, bodies, and wings. Starting in 2002, DARPA began periodically releasing incremental information into the public domain. And that just brings to mind the scripture in the book of Ecclesiasticus, about the newly created creatures. Because basically, what do you think a cyborg is? You know what I mean? And that's this man playing God. You know what I mean? Can you bear with me for a second? This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 11. Verse 17, for thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form, wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions. I'm going to start up. I'm going to start at verse 15. But for the foolish devices of their wickedness, wherewith being deceived, they worship serpents void of reason and vile beasts. Thou didst send a multitude of reasonable beasts upon them for vengeance. Verse 16, that they might know that wherewithal a man sinneth, by the same also shall he be punished. For thy almighty hand that made the world of matter without form wanted not means to send among them a multitude of bears or fierce lions, or unknown wild beasts full of rage, newly created, breathing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scents of scattered smoke, or shooting horrible sparkles out of their eyes. So at the end of the day, these Edomites actually in labs creating this, because the Most High allowed them to tap into that. How do you think knowledge has increased like that? But this is all at the end of the day the Heavenly Father's movie. You know what I mean? I'm listening to people trying to basically hoping to upset the prophecies and whatnot. In the book of Isaiah chapter 34, it tells you that the Bible has no mate. There's no book like the Bible, because the Bible is the only book with real life prophecy. That's why it's a living book. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how much people try and come up against the prophecies, all these other prophecies came to pass. Why wouldn't these? Bear with me for a second. Slovakia. So, like I said, at the end of the day, these Edomites might. It's just like the heart machine, though. Like, for instance, Puerto Rico got hit with 500 earthquakes. Then they said, like, a couple days later, they got hit with another 500. So they got hit with like 1,000 earthquakes. And they still worried about more happening. Now, who's to say who is doing that? You know, they're always speaking about the harp that America has, but Russia has a harp as well. It's not called harp, but they have the machine as well. You got to remember, like I said, a lot of people don't even realize with Operation Paperclip, although German scientists came here, they also went to Russia as well. Why do you think they were the first nuclear powers? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, Salakia, let me stop here.